Šeško saga, that's a tongue twister there, has come to an end. Šeško club card from
Tesco club card, is that what they're playing on? I'm pretty sure it's that.
I think so.
It sounds
That's
like
over
it.
my head a little bit.
No, Tesco, the grocery store.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, here's him touching down, arriving to his home. Apparently he's in there somewhere. I guess so. Very good. Okay, nice. What do we think? Because this was a kind of back and forth where Newcastle were really gunning for Šeško, and then he says his preference is to go to Manchester United. They pay almost $100 million for him. How did we get here?
Unlike the Tesco club card, which is free and saves you money, Benjamin Šeško is $99 million and does not save you money whatsoever, and you need him to deliver immediately, right?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, he's really good. But there's a step up that you need to take, especially not just for Manchester United like of old, right? The image that we have of the Fergie Manchester United, right? We need to consider the struggling times that Manchester United has had in the last, 10, 15 years at this point? Like, you have to deliver, or else you're going to be considered a flop. It feels like that's the expectation on so many of these players heading over to United. It's like you need to be the savior for this team, and very few players live up to that name, right? Like Bruno Fernandes is the greatest example of someone who has lived up to that.
So my only worry, and I really, really like Šeško as a player. I like what he is already, and I like what he could become. The only quibble for me here is you're paying for what he might be, because this is a premium. And again, while his numbers were good in the Bundesliga, great for his age, but great for his age, the money is the same, right? It doesn't change. So it's paying for what he might be, and hopefully he can help them immediately. The good news is this isn't like Højlund or Zirkzee. Like when they came into the team, he's going to have a couple more in-prime players around him. It won't be, here, just go fix it all. So I think he's coming into a better situation than other United forwards have, but it is a worrying track record.
Okay, my question is, since he was linked to Newcastle in anticipation of a move of Alexander Isak to Liverpool, who's been heavily interested, where would Šeško, in your opinion, have had more pressure on him? Living up to almost $100 million price tag at Manchester United and all the turmoil they're coming out of from last season?
United easily. Easily.
It's always United. Yes, the pressure you get when you sign for that club, the fan base is massive. The history is massive. Old Trafford is massive. As soon as you put your name on that line as a Manchester United player, immediately you have millions and millions of voices scrutinizing you. So it's massive. That front three that they will most likely have at United, they're gonna love to get out and run. They will eat off transition, and I really feel like this man, Benjamin Šeško, will also be perfect for this type of play.
All right, well, Ruben Amorim and all of Manchester United will be hoping the exact same. What do you think, Nico? How do you see this group gelling together?
Yeah, they each outperformed their XG by a significant margin. Pretty incredible. It's a new look Manchester United, clearly. I'm asking myself, I was thinking, who has a better chance of performing, Gyökeres at Arsenal or Šeško at Manchester United? I don't know who has more pressure. I think Gyökeres has a better chance. I think Gyökeres is much closer to his prime, but this kid has a certain talent, has a certain eagerness.
A certain je ne sais quoi.
And he's imposing physically, right? That's great. Coming from Højlund, who's a little bit smaller in stature, needed to be in and around the box to get those touches. I feel like Šeško brings everything together from a much deeper position and is able to give you that build-up play and then that verticality that can stretch teams.
And he's going to need time because he does miss some clear-cut chances. He's going to miss some chances, and this fan base is going to have to be patient with him. We've seen players that can kind of be on the bubble. A Darwin Núñez, who scores some really good goals, but he misses a lot of chances. Nicholas Jackson, who was a good goal scorer before he came to Chelsea, scored some good goals at Chelsea.
Right.
But he can also be a little bit iffy in front of goal. Confidence is paramount.
The thing is that
you're
not at United, you're not afforded that patience, right? Like Darwin Núñez, for some reason, I think he was very endeared to the fans. He was afforded that patience, and ultimately it didn't work out. But still, he leaves almost like in this very high regard. They love him.
Can confirm.
That will not happen at Manchester United with Benjamin Šeško. It didn't happen with Højlund. It didn't happen with Anthony. It didn't happen with anybody.
Yeah,
like
especially not with that big of a price tag attached.
You must deliver, especially for that type of money.
So the worries here is that his underlying numbers at Leipzig were really bad. Like, they were pretty average. And this is a guy that's being bought for $100 million and going to Manchester United, all the pressure. What I will say is, Leipzig were a disaster last season. I don't think that I'm overblowing this. They were in attack really bad. The clips that Aaron showed, all of these are in transition. They weren't playing in transition. Right. Gegenpressing is named after them. Red Bull Soccer is named after them, and they did not play in transition enough. I don't know if they will a ton at United, but I think, as crazy as it is, he's going into a better situation. And when have we said that about a United signing? Yeah. Just because, like, Leipzig were a disaster last year. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes, but like you said, he's not going to get any leeway. If he misses chances early, it could go bad.
Let's take a look at what that lineup situation could look like for Manchester United, because they did spend a lot of cash money on their attack in particular. So here's how Šeško could kind of fit in with some of the new faces as well. Brandon Mbeumo, Mateus Cunha.
Where's Kobe? Where's Kobe?
Well, Ben, what do you think? How much do the expectations on Man United change based on what they spent, where they finished last year, and how much better, Aaron, you expect them to be, especially up top?
Having spent this much money, with Ruben Amorim having had the time that he's had with the squad, he'll have a full preseason. You spend that much money, you have to at least push for top 4. That's the very, very bare minimum. I think if Manchester United finish outside the top 4 with the amount they've spent, their fans will feel it's a failure. I'm not sure with where their squad is, if it actually is a failure, but I do believe if they don't finish top 4, their fans will feel it's a failure.
It is a failure if they don't. Just look at these 3 players, almost $300 million. Look at all of, like, Ugarte last season, Lenny Yoro, Dorgu. The whole team is remade in Ruben Amorim's vision. And again, guess what? They weren't bargain shopping. These are huge, huge fees. It's a failure.
Where are they getting this money? They fired all their staff.
No Christmas bonuses for the training staff.
They can't even get lunch on the grounds, most of their staff. Where is this money coming from?
Because they're expecting their attack to eat. And Brandon Mbeumo scored the 4th most goals in the Premier League last season. Where would you rank this front 3 amongst the other teams in the Premier League?
I don't know. I'd have to go one by one, but it's a top Premier League team that, listen, top 4 is a minimum, I would say, for a club like United. Listen, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they finished 2nd in a season right behind Liverpool, it was, right? Or Manchester City. I forget which season it was. Regardless, even if you're Manchester United at this point and you're Ruben Amorim, it's a complete new squad. It's a complete new manager, right? That finally has a preseason. You got a gun for the title, right? And then the worst that can happen out of that is a top 4 in a season where the Prem is ultra competitive. So it feels like the stakes have just gotten even higher for United, especially with how poor they were last season. Like it was the worst season.
Poor.
It was the worst season that they put together since they got relegated from the top flight in England. That is inexcusable by all accounts.